Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so I'm going to talk to you today about Olaplex, but before I start I have to get a couple of disclaimers out of the way. The first one is, I am not a professional hairstylist. I've never been, I'm not going to be, I'm just not. Okay? And the second one is, this product, Olaplex, is intended for and directed and marketed toward or for professional hairstylists. So regular lay people like me and possibly you aren't supposed to be able to get our hands on it, but the internet is a wonderful thing, and so we can. Alright, so let's get into why I decided to take the plunge and buy some Olaplex. So I decided to get Olaplex because I double process my hair, parts of it anyway. So my hair is relaxed, so anytime, every 8 to 10 to 12 weeks or so I get a relaxer. The new growth is relaxed, the length is relaxed, I'm relaxed. But then also I go in just parts of my hair because I'm starting to get gray in little areas of the top of my head. So I have to go in because my grays are so freaking resistant. I have to go in with a permanent dye to cover those up. And I started to notice that those areas, particularly at the top of my head, were starting to break off, and I'm starting to get some serious damage. Damage that I didn't ever really get or notice that I got from just relaxing alone. So I did some research and decided that I wanted to get the Olaplex and take the plunge and take the risk. So what is Olaplex? Olaplex, from my understanding, and I implore you to do your own research if you're interested or thinking about buying it, but from what I've been able to gather is that whenever there is any kind of chemical process or even, excessive heat damage and things like that, disulfide bonds in the hair are broken. And so what should be like this is now like this. And also from my understanding, the trouble comes in when those little bonds bond to oxygen atoms, molecules in the air. And so that's when dryness starts to come into play, breakage starts to come into play, and all kinds of damage, which we don't like, we don't want. Okay? So what Olaplex is meant to do is take those little bonds and bond them back together, resulting in stronger, shinier, healthier appearing and actual healthier hair. Okay, so I got my Olaplex from Amazon.com. Now the lady or man that I got it from, they don't have the same kind of kits anymore that I have, but I will leave a link down below where you can check it out or buy it if you want. It's up to you. I have also heard you can get it on eBay, or, which for the second box that I got, I went this route. I happen to work now with someone who did go to beauty school and who does have a license, and she was kind enough to go to Cosmoprof for me and pick up a box. So when I first got it from Amazon, I do believe and know that I got the legitimate product because it came, of course, in an Amazon box. The outer box then looked like this. And inside of this box was this box. Okay? So it's legit, thankfully. And what comes in that box, it's called the Traveling Stylist Kit. And what comes in that is step 1 or number 1 of the Olaplex, and then 2 number 2s of the Olaplex. Okay? Step 1, number 1, comes like this. It has one of these little doohickeys. You unscrew this top, stick that in there, and this is like the dosing part of the apparatus situation. So here's my old one. It looks like this because I have purchased 2 of these kits. Okay, so you take the lid off, you squeeze up however much you need, and there are measurements on the side, and then you can pour it in that way. Okay. So there are a couple of different ways that you can use this Olaplex. The first one is as a standalone treatment, and that entails getting some kind of little like colorist bottle, something with a little spout and a hole, like a ketchup bottle type situation, and you're going to put 3 ounces of regular tap water in that. And you're going to fill this up to, or squeeze up to, half an ounce, which is up here. And then pour that half of an ounce in that bottle, and you're going to saturate your dry regular hair with that product. Let it sit for about 7 to 10 minutes or longer if you have really damaged hair. And then you're going to go in right on top of that without rinsing it or anything with step 2. A nice little dose of step 2. Then what you're meant to do once you get step 2 on top of step 1 is comb through the hair or brush through the hair with a wide tooth comb or a wide tooth brush. Just comb through it for even distribution. Now I will say I don't comb through my hair for even distribution with anything because my hair is very, very fine and very fragile, and my hair can't take that. So I skip that one step. Whenever I try to comb through my wet hair, all I hear is like snap, 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 snap. And no, that's not cute, and I'm not having it. So if you have stronger hair, you are meant to comb through it for even distribution. Then you leave it in your hair for at least 10 minutes. If you have very damaged hair, the Olaplex people say you can leave it on longer. The longest I've ever left it on is about a half an hour because frankly, I'm too impatient. I don't have time for that, okay? So that's how you use it as a standalone treatment. I have done that several times, like several, over 5 times, 8, 10, 12 times perhaps. And I will say that you put step 1 in your hair, you wait, you put step 2 in your hair, you wait. When I got in the shower and rinsed that out, my hair felt like freaking silk. It's wonderful. It's lovely. It's so soft and wonderful and luscious feeling, and I loved it. However, after you do that and you rinse all the Olaplex out, you are meant to go in and shampoo and condition your hair and go on about your normal routine. So I will say that after I shampoo it and rinse that out and condition it and rinse that out, it's not as soft and silky and wonderful as it is when you first rinse out the Olaplex. Now the first time I did it, it went seemingly right back to the way it was, and I was a little pissed. But what I did notice after the first treatment is that my hair broke a lot less. And when I first used it, I was about 2 weeks away from needing a touch-up on a relaxer. So that little line of demarcation, my hair is really fragile, and it was just breaking off left and right. So after the Olaplex treatment, the first one, I noticed there was a lot less, like at least by half. It was done. It wasn't breaking. So that alone made me keep going with it. Since then, I noticed that, in subsequent uses of it with the standalone treatment, I've noticed that when I rinse it out, wash it, condition it, it is a bit softer. I still feel some of that softness and niceness left in the hair, but it's never quite as soft and luscious feeling as it is when you first rinse out the Olaplex. So just be aware of that, but it's okay. After I have used that as a standalone treatment and go on about my business, shampoo, condition, my leave-ins, my oil, and things like that, my hair is lovely. It's very shiny. It is very manageable. It seems to even retain moisture so much better. So I'm sold. I'm in. Another way that you can use Olaplex is in an actual chemical process. Can I talk? Yeah, I can talk. Okay, so in a chemical process. So if you do any research, you'll see 1001 videos online about using it with bleach, and blondes going blonder and brunettes going blonde and blonde, 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 blonde. I'm not blonde. I never was blonde. I'm not ever going to be blonde. I like my hair color. I want to keep it this way. So what I have done, I used it in chemical processes, or the way I've used it in chemical processes, I should say, is that I have when I've dyed, and I use that, is it Biggin or Beijing? I don't know. I hear my people saying it both ways. It looks like it's Biggin, B-I-G-E-N. So I was using that hair color. I'm going to switch to something else, which I'll do a video about probably in a couple of weeks' time. But I was using that, and if you know anything about that, you know it's a powder. You mix a little bit of it in a bowl and some tap water, and you mix it up, and then you go on about coloring your hair. So what I've done with the Olaplex is pour a few drops, a little slight trickle of it into that mix, mixed it up, and colored my hair. Colored the same, it's just as long lasting, worked fine. I didn't notice any additional breakage or problems with it, so that was fantastic as far as I'm concerned. However, the most important way I think that I've used Olaplex in a chemical treatment, or process I should say, is in my relaxer. So I do relaxers at home. I buy a kit. I like the ORS one, just personally. I'll take the activator, mix it into the base, stir that up very, very well till it's thoroughly mixed up. And then what I've been doing is taking, because girl, boy, the instructions surrounding Olaplex and relaxers is a little, leaves a lot to be desired. So let me explain. So I went on the website, the Olaplex.com website, and it said something about mixing half an ounce of Olaplex for every 2 ounces of relaxer base, or the relaxer. And I thought, in my little like non-hairdresser brain, that's an awful lot of Olaplex to be going in. Isn't it going to make it runny? Is it what? And then there was this other little disclaimer in those directions on the website that said, just be advised that use of Olaplex may lessen the straightening ability of the relaxer. I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along those lines. And no, I don't, no, ma'am, no, sorry. I don't do a relaxer to get half-assed results. I want the same results I've always had. So I had to put on my thinking cap and really think about it long and hard. And what I have come up with is that, and it works for me. So what I'll do is mix up the relaxer. I will dispense 1/8 of an ounce, which is the lowest little one down here, of the Olaplex. Pour that into the relaxer once it's all mixed. Thoroughly mix that up, and then go on about my business putting in my relaxer. And I will say I've done that twice now. Olaplex has no effect on how it relaxes, what it smells like, what it looks like, how it performs, anything. It was wonderful. So for me, that seems to be what works well. I haven't tried to up it to 1/4 of an ounce or half an ounce in the whole tub or anything like that. I'm sticking with the 1/8. It works for me for now. If that changes, I'll let you know in the future. So that's how I used it, and it was great. I noticed when I was washing my hair out that, oh, let me go back. Also on the website, it said something about mixing the Olaplex into the relaxer, all of that Olaplex, what would end up being, I think, ounces of it, into it, and then putting in the relaxer, rinsing the relaxer out of your hair, and then go in with a second treat, like a standalone treatment with this part, step 1, diluted in water, and then go over that with step 2 and leave that for another 10 or so minutes, and then wash your hair. No, like that doesn't make any sense to my layperson's brain. My brain is thinking, no, my hair has a chemical straightener in it, and when it's time to get that straightener out, I need to get it out. So I'm not going to postpone, I should say, the neutralizing step of it, which is the shampooing, to faff around with Olaplex for an extra 10 minutes. It didn't quite sit right with me, so I didn't do that. So let's go back. Okay, so now I've put it in the relaxer. I put the relaxer in my hair. I rinsed it all out. Then I washed my hair with the neutralizing shampoo that comes in the kit. I washed my hair 3 times. And then after that, the third washing was all rinsed out. Then I went in with the Olaplex step 1 diluted in water and did a standalone treatment. So poured that all in my hair, saturated my hair with that. And then I went on with step 2, left it for about half an hour or so, and then I rinsed that out, shampooed my hair one more quick time, and then deep conditioned it and went on about my business. So that's how I used it. Now, back to what I was saying before about the results of doing that. I noticed when I was washing and rinsing and washing and rinsing, etc., and conditioning my hair, I lost less hair. And usually when I relax my hair, there's a decent little ball of hair that comes out. But I noticed when I used the Olaplex, there was less of it. There's still hair that's going to come out. It's fine. But there was less of it when I used the Olaplex. So that made me very happy, and I was pleased with that. The end results were just as wonderful as they always have been. I have no complaints. So it works really, really well for me. So yeah, that's how I've used it. When I've just done a standalone treatment, I've used it with color and had no problems, and I've used it with a relaxer and have had no problems for the kind of relaxer that I use and the way I used it on my hair. Again, I want to implore you to do your own research. If you are in any way hesitant or unsure or inexperienced with doing your own hair, then by all means find a hairdresser and ask them about it. Go to them and have it done. But if you are feeling confident like me, I will leave all the links down below and you can check it out for yourself. But yeah, do yourself the favor, do your own research, decide if it's something that you want to do for you and your hair. I can tell you I've been using it for a few months now, and my hair is it's had a lot of movement. It feels very healthy. It's very shiny. I have no complaints, no problems with it at all. I absolutely love it. So it's working really well for me, and if you try it, hopefully it will work just as well for you. I will say, and it says it on the box, which I think is so freaking cute. The first thing it says down here is Olaplex is not a magic wand. It isn't, all right? It's a tool that you use to help correct some of the damage from the processes and the things that you and me are probably putting our hair through. You probably, me for sure, are putting our hair through and things we're doing to our hair. It's a great tool. I feel that it helps me, but it's not a magic wand. It doesn't correct every bit of damage done to my hair. I didn't put it in, rinse it out, wash it through and everything, and then come out with a head full of hair that I had when I was like 12. No. I still have to trim my hair. The ends still get, you know, funky looking or a little dry. So you still have to maintain your hair. It's not a fix-all, cure-all kind of situation. But it is wonderful, and I really enjoy it. And if you've tried it or you have any questions just about basic hairdressery questions, please ask them down below or comment down below if you've tried it, or you know, tell me what your experiences have been with it. I would love to hear it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I purchased it, I love it, I use it, and it's done right by me. So if you're interested, look into it yourself, give it a go, and let me know how it goes, alright? Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Much love to you. Subscribe if you're interested. Like the video if you like it. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much again for watching. Take care. Bye.